Mitchell Robinson has never asked the game to slow down for him. From the moment he stepped into professional basketball, he was forced to learn at full speed, in full view, without the buffer most young players receive. His career has unfolded in fragments, bursts of dominance interrupted by injury, stretches of silence followed by reassertion. But through it all, Robinson has remained something rare in modern basketball, a player whose value is not additive, but structural. He does not decorate a team's identity. He supports it, quietly, relentlessly. Robinson's journey begins far from the traditional basketball pipeline. Raised in Florida, his early life demanded independence. He was not surrounded by the comfort of certainty or the assurance of guaranteed progression. Basketball entered his life not as spectacle, but as outlet and challenge. From an early age, his physical tools stood out: length, reach, timing, but those gifts existed alongside rawness. Robinson was never fully polished, and that fact would follow him at every level. His decision to bypass college basketball entirely was both bold and isolating. In a system designed to validate prospects through structure and exposure, Robinson chose absence. He trained privately, out of view, without nightly games to contextualize his growth. Scouts debated his readiness. Analysts questioned his discipline. But Robinson was not chasing approval. He was chasing opportunity, even if it meant stepping into uncertainty without protection. When the New York Knicks selected him in the second round, the expectations were modest. Developmental prospect, athletic gamble, long-term project. But Madison Square Garden is not a patient place, and Robinson was thrust into an environment that amplifies everything. There is no quiet learning curve in New York. Every mistake echoes. Every foul is scrutinized. Every absence is magnified. Robinson's early seasons reflected this tension. His shot blocking was immediate and undeniable. He erased attempts that looked clean. He altered drives simply by standing near the rim. Guards began to hesitate. But alongside those flashes came fouls. Too many, too fast. Timing errors. Overextensions. Mistakes that come from instinct outrunning experience. For many observers, those flaws became the headline. For Robinson, they became education. Defense at the NBA level is not reactive, it is predictive. Robinson had to learn spacing, tendencies, and discipline in real time, often against the league's best defensive players. Every error was punished. Every adjustment mattered. Slowly, possession by possession, he refined his approach. He learned verticality. He learned patience. He learned when not to jump. That growth rarely made highlight reels, but it transformed his effectiveness. Offensively, Robinson never sought expansion. He accepted a narrow role and committed to it fully. Screen, roll, finish, rebound, reset. He did not drift beyond his responsibilities. In an era that celebrates versatility, Robinson embraced clarity. His efficiency reflected that discipline. He finished at elite rates because he chose his moments. His presence alone bent defenses, creating space without usage. Rebounding became a defining trait. Robinson attacked the glass with intent, particularly on the offensive end. Second chance points are momentum builders, and Robinson treated them as personal responsibility. His reach allowed him to contest rebounds in traffic without sacrificing balance. These plays rarely led highlight packages, but they shifted games. Then came the interruptions. Injuries arrived not as singular events, but as cycles. Foot issues, knee setbacks, lower body complications that are particularly cruel to players whose games rely on lift and timing. Each injury erased rhythm. Each recovery demanded recalibration. For Robinson, progress was never linear. It was reset and rebuild. What separated him from many was his response. He did not disengage. He did not retreat into frustration publicly. He continued to work. Conditioning, strength, film, positioning. When his body allowed him to return, his impact was immediate. The Knicks' defensive identity sharpened with his presence. The paint closed. Perimeter defenders gambled with confidence. Robinson's value became clearer in absence than presence. Coaching stability helped unlock another layer of his game. Robinson began to anchor schemes rather than simply react. Drop coverage demanded communication. Help rotations required anticipation. Late contests required discipline. These responsibilities are invisible to casual viewers, but central to defensive success. Robinson embraced them. Trust followed. Fouls, once his most glaring weakness, became manageable. He learned angles. He learned restraint. He understood that contesting every shot was less valuable than positioning himself to contest the right ones. This evolution marked the difference between athlete and defender. Robinson's relationship with physicality deepened. He set harder screens. He absorbed contact. He accepted the grind of nightly interior battles. This toll compounded with injury risk, but Robinson did not shy away. His commitment to role demanded sacrifice, and he paid it repeatedly. In New York, effort is currency. Fans may debate skill sets endlessly, but they recognize authenticity immediately. Robinson's approach resonated because it aligned with the city's ethos. He did not perform toughness, he lived it. Over time, his presence became associated with defensive stability. When he was available, the Knicks defended with confidence. When he was not, the void was unmistakable. Robinson's quiet demeanor off the court has often been misunderstood. He is not performative. He does not narrate his process publicly. This privacy has sometimes been misread as indifference, but those within the organization understand the truth. Robinson is internal. He processes through work rather than words. His commitment shows up in preparation, not press conferences. Contract extensions brought renewed scrutiny. Expectations increased. Availability became a focal point. Robinson responded the only way he knew how, by anchoring the defense when healthy. Advanced metrics consistently reflected his impact. Rim protection numbers, defensive rating shifts, opponent shot quality. These data points told a story louder than headlines. Mitchell Robinson's career forces a reevaluation of how value is measured. He does not accumulate accolades. He does not dominate conversations, but he shapes outcomes. He lowers opponents' efficiency. He raises teammates' confidence. He absorbs physical punishment so others can play freely. His role is not glamorous, but it is essential. Teams with Robinson defend differently. They take risks on the perimeter. They funnel drives inward. They trust the paint. This structural impact cannot be replicated easily. It must be lived. Robinson's development has been slowed by circumstance, but not defined by it. Each season has added nuance, better positioning, improved communication, greater discipline. His game has matured not through expansion, but refinement. He knows his value and honors it. In a league obsessed with narrative momentum, Robinson exists outside the cycle. His career is not a story of rise or fall. It is a story of persistence, of holding the line when games turn physical, of absorbing force so others can flourish. Mitchell Robinson does not ask to be celebrated. He asks only to be trusted. And when healthy, when present, when anchoring the paint, the game answers clearly. Mitchell Robinson reminds us that some of the most important work in basketball happens quietly, at the rim, in the paint, in the moments that never make headlines but decide outcomes. Thank you for watching. If you appreciate long-form tributes that honor the deeper story behind the player, please like, share, and subscribe for more.